Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. It's Tuesday, time to talk about some new releases coming out this Friday, March 31st. There's about 400 albums coming out. I got 21 on my list for today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for our merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist we put together, and also the Patreon page. Make sure you check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said in the intro, there's about 400 albums coming out this week. I'm only going to talk about 21 of them, though. So if there's something that I don't talk about on the show today, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what albums you're looking to pick up. And of course, like always, if you're unable to find any of these records in your local stores, I'll drop a link down below. They're all available online. So over the last couple of months, Ghost has been slowly reissuing their catalog, and I think they've even got more stuff coming out all the way through, I think till the beginning part of the summer when they'll finally have their full catalog out again. But this week you got If You Have Ghost coming out. This was first released back in 2013. There's 4 cover tracks on here, and then there's a live version of Secular Haze on here. This is going to run you $25 online. This is an indie exclusive yellow release that's coming out. It's translucent yellow vinyl. This is actually produced by Dave Grohl. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it's a really great album. It's a really great EP actually, but it's definitely one I'm going to pick up because I don't have that one on vinyl yet. You've also got Bush, The Kingdom coming out. This was first released back in 2020. Their 8th studio album, and this is on translucent green vinyl. It's going to run you about $30. I was a big fan of Bush's first couple of albums, and I'd say over probably the last 2 or 3 years, I've been getting more into their more recent albums, the last couple of ones, and it's one I've only listened to 1 or 2 tracks off of this album, off of The Kingdom, so I'm definitely gonna pick up that one this week. Like I said, $30 is not a terrible price. So you got great reissue from Mac Miller coming out this week. This is Blue Slide Park. This first released back in 2011. It's Mac Miller's debut album. It was released back in 2011, but this is a 10th anniversary release, so I don't know if there was some kind of delay with pandemic or what the deal was, but it's a 10th anniversary release. This has a really cool die-cut gatefold jacket. It's going to run you $34 online. It's a clear, blue, and yellow splatter. I think it's going to look really cool. I haven't seen a mock-up of it, but I'm sure it's going to look great. If you're unfamiliar with Mac Miller, or if you haven't listened to Blue Slide Park, definitely go check it out. If you're a rap fan, if all of you've heard is Circles or one of Mac's last couple of albums, it is a fantastic album from beginning to end. It's probably one of my favorite things that he ever did. So you got that, and then you've also got Melanie Martinez is releasing a new album this week. This is Portals. It's going to run $24 online. This is her 3rd studio album. This is on, I didn't see the color description, but from the mock-up I saw, it looks like it's a pink and white vinyl is what it looks like. The only Melanie Martinez album I've ever listened to was her debut album, Cry Baby. My daughter was a fan of that album. Didn't really like any of the other stuff that she has released since then, but so I'm not all that familiar with it. I should at least stream this one when it comes out, just to kind of give it a listen. So I know a lot of people love to hate on Nickelback. I can be included in that also. They've been a punchline to a lot of my jokes over the years. But Get Rollin' is coming out on vinyl this week. First released last year. This was Nickelback's 10th studio album. It's going to run you $24 online. I think there's a couple of different variants. I think there's a Walmart exclusive of this coming out also. Like I said, I know people love hating on Nickelback. I'm sure someone will probably say something in the comments down below. But Nickelback is a huge band. They are the 11th highest selling band in music history. They're in the 2000s. They are number 2 as far as foreign bands for sales here in the United States, only behind the Beatles. So they're definitely popular enough to sell like 50 million albums over the years. So yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a big seller. I'm sure a lot of people are actually pretty excited for this release. I have not listened to anything off of it. I heard the first track when it was released, and it was like a little harder than I really expected it to be. So, I guess I should stream that one also when it comes out. Then there's an interesting release coming out this week. This is City in Color, The Love Still Held Me Near. If you're unfamiliar with City in Color, this is a guy by the name of Dallas City Green Color. It's interesting play on his name. Done a bunch of great stuff. There's actually a 7 studio album coming out. It's going to be about $28 online. It's not a bad price. He was actually the guitarist for, it was a post-hardcore band by the name of Alex is on Fire. If you're unfamiliar with their stuff, also go check them out. They're like the mid-2000s kind of stuff. Just they had a couple of really decent tracks. Nothing that really kind of blew me away though, but the stuff he's done as City and Color is just absolutely fantastic. The next one is one I've been waiting a long time to get reissued. This is the Rolling Stones Aftermath, and I'm sure you're probably thinking, Rolling Stones, they've reissued a bunch of this stuff all the time over the years. But Aftermath is an interesting album because there's 2 different versions of it. There's a UK version, which is really easy to pick up. My local record store has it for like $23-24. And then there's a US version. The US version has not been widely reissued since the mid-90s, so it's been one I've had on my list for a long time. This is going to run you $30 online. The US version has Paint It Black, which is one of my favorite Rolling Stones tracks. The UK version does not have it. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I was kind of leaning towards picking up the Rolling Stones box set that came out early this year, because it has the UK and the US version in it, which I think is great. I would love to see them do like a combined Aftermath and just release one big release of the album. The US version also has a different album cover than the UK version does also. So that's definitely one I've got on my list. And then you've got Danzig 777, I Luciferi coming out. It's going to be about $30 online. This came out back in 2002. It's Glenn's 7th studio album, hence the title. All of the first 7 Danzig albums are all numbered. The original name for this album was actually Danzig 7, Kiss the Skull, I think was the original name of it. But it is a good album worth picking up. I think it's running about $30 online, and it didn't have any huge hits off of this album, but it's probably one of Danzig's most complete albums from beginning to end, I think. The next 2 are both albums that I won't pick up physical copies of them, but I'll definitely stream them if they're available online. The first one, this is David Bowie, Moonage, Daydream, a Brett Morgenson film. This is a companion album to the documentary that came out last year about David Bowie. There's a bunch of tracks on here. I think there's 45 tracks over 3 LPs. It's going to run you about $48 online. This has, let's see what's included on here. You got unheard of versions, there's live tracks, there's mixed exclusive versions that they mixed just for the film, and then there's also dialogue from David Bowie himself on here. I think it's a really kind of cool package to check out. Like I said, I'll definitely stream that one. And then you've got Eric Clapton, Lady in the Balcony, Lockdown Sessions. This was recorded in 2021, like February 2021. Eric Clapton had some shows scheduled that got canceled, so he got his band together anyway. They went up to like the English countryside and recorded, I want to say it's like 17 tracks. This is a double LP. I don't know what else is included in here, because the price on this thing is going to run you about $80. So when you compare 17 tracks on 2 LPs, I know it's on creamy white vinyl, you compare that to the David Bowie album, which is 3 LPs for $48. That's a big price difference between the 2. So I don't know if there's something included in this Eric Clapton release that I'm kind of missing or didn't see online. The next one is one that I think has been reissued several times over the last year or so. This is Everclear, the best of. This was first came out back in 2014. This is on yellow and black splatter, so I'm sure it's going to look pretty cool. I think I did see a mock-up on it online. It's going to be about $30 online. Like I said, I think there's been a couple of different versions of this over the last year or so, but keep in mind if you're looking for Everclear stuff, I know a lot of their catalog hasn't been released on vinyl. Just keep in mind that this is a lot of this, I think all of it is all re-recorded stuff. I don't think they have rights to their songs, so they're not able to put out a best of themselves. So keep that in mind if you're looking forward to pick that one up. Then you've also got White Lion, Fight to Survive. This was first released back in 85 as White Lion's debut album. This is on white, black, and red splatter vinyl. It's going to be $33 online. This is like a really heavy splatter too if you're into like the cool designs for records. This one might actually look pretty cool. But the thing I saw online about this is on a couple of websites I saw, it says it includes 7 bonus live tracks that weren't included on the album. But when I go through online, all I see are just the 10 standard tracks from this album on there. So if there is something, so I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be bonus tracks on here or if there's not. Like I said, I've seen it listed, but then in the track listing, they're not listed on there. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this release. If you're a White Lion fan, I think it might be one worth checking out for, like I said, only $33. And then just like last week, when we had all the Bob Marley stuff come out, this week we got 9 releases from Britney Spears being reissued. I know there's a lot of stuff that's been out of print for a long time. Some of her albums have actually gotten kind of expensive if you're looking for older pressings of them. But the first one, this is from 1999, her debut album, Baby One More Time. I will also say that a lot of these are running $23. There's a couple that are a little bit more than that, though. It was a huge album when it first came out. Baby One More Time, Sometimes, You Drive Me Crazy. They're all over the place. They're huge, massive hits. All over the radio, all over MTV. This thing actually sold over 12 million copies just here in the U.S. So like I said, it was a massive album. You also got Oops, I Did It Again, which was her second album, released in 2000. Oops, I Did It Again, Lucky, and Stronger were all really big hits also when it came out. This album, I actually forgot all about this fact for this album, but this album actually held the record for 15 years as the highest selling album in its first week for a female artist. I think Adele broke it with 25 back in 2015. But like I said, it was a massive album. It was just everywhere when it first came out. And then in 2001, she released her third studio album, Britney. I think I'm a Slave for You is the only track that was really kind of a big track off here. I think there was a lot of mixed reviews for this album. It sold over 10 million copies worldwide, though, so it did actually sell pretty well. I think Britney Spears could probably put out anything. It'd probably sell a couple of million copies, though. So you got that. And then you've got In the Zone, which was released back in 2003. Her third studio album, both of those are going to be $23 also. And In the Zone was, I think, a kind of a more musically diverse album that she had ever done previous to that. I remember hearing a lot of stuff off here, and even though they didn't have a lot of those huge hits that the first couple of albums did, it still sold really well. I think it was over 3 million copies sold just here in the U.S. And you got Blackout being reissued. This came out back in 2007. It was her fifth studio album. Give Me More and Piece of Me, I think, were the only 2 tracks that got a lot of traction here in the U.S. I think there was a couple of tracks that charted in Asia or in Europe also, but those are the 2 big tracks here. This album got a lot of really mixed reviews. I think there's a lot of really poor reviews of this. And, it still sold pretty well. It still sold over 3 million copies worldwide. It's going to run you $23 online. You've also got Circus, which is her 6th studio album, came out in 2008. This is an album that has kind of returned to form for her, or at least commercially sold really well. Over 4 million copies of this one got sold. This is going to run you $27 online, so it's a little bit more than the other ones. But Womanizer and If You Seek Amy were the 2 big tracks off of that one. Then the next 2 are albums that, to be honest, I didn't even know she released. You got 2001, you had Femme Fatale. This is going to run you $22 online, her 7th studio album. From a lot of the stuff I read about it seems a lot more like a dance album, a lot more like electropop stuff that's on here than some of the stuff she's done earlier in her career. Sold pretty decently, sold 2 million copies worldwide. Then you've got Britney Jean, which was released in 2013, her 8th studio album. This was kind of a mixed album at best. There's a lot of people that, at least a lot of the reviews of this, were talking about how, because of the name of the album, they thought it'd be a lot more of a kind of a personal album, and it's really kind of anything but that. It still sold pretty well, though. It sold 1 million copies worldwide. It's going to run you $22. And then the only one of the 9 that I'll probably pick up, at least the only one I'm considering picking up, this is Greatest Hits, My Prerogative, released back in 2004. It's a double LP. It's the only double LP of the 9. And these are all hits from her first 4 albums. There's a great cover of My Prerogative by Bobby Brown on here. It's going to run you a little bit more than the other ones. It's going to run you $32 online. Sold pretty well. Sold over 5 million copies. She's sold a bunch of albums over her career. I think there is a couple of albums that are kind of underrated on there that, maybe probably don't deserve the hate that they probably get. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Like I said, a bunch of great stuff coming out this week. I'm definitely going to pick up that Ghost. I'm definitely going to pick up a copy of that Bush album. Definitely going to grab, I'll probably grab City in Color also. Like I said, it's less than $30. I think it's a pretty decent price for an album. And like I said, when I talked about the album, I like everything that City in Color has released so far, so I'm sure it's going to be good. And, of course, that Aftermath release, But, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I think there's a bunch of great stuff coming out. Over almost 400 albums coming out, so I'm sure they probably missed some things that you're looking forward to. So drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to picking up this week. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.